Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Resonate, where we explore the world of customer experience. I am Hishma, your host. Today we have a very special guest from Junior Adventures Group, Sam Wallace, the Group General Manager. JAG is a leader in outside school hours care, and we're thrilled to have you here. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
Our viewers, especially the ones new in their customer experience journey, are very eager to learn from you. Sam, if you could begin with telling us a little bit about yourself and about JAG, please.
So you're right, my role here at Junior Adventures Group, which is a leading provider of outside school hours programs around the world, is the Group General Manager of Product and Partnerships and Customer Experience. So as I mentioned, Junior Adventures Group bring beautiful before and after school programs and holiday programs to about 100,000 children a day across 4 different countries. So we exist in Australia, in New Zealand, in the UK, and also in Ireland. And we have about 900 to 1,000 schools that we provide this service to, and about 5,000 educators around the world that hold this role and this responsibility very dearly. So we're pretty lucky in what we do.
When did you decide to embark on the customer experience journey?
Yeah, so for us, we've been under the banner of Junior Adventures Group since 2018. For us, it meant that, because things were different, we needed to think differently and really listen to parents and school communities about what they wanted from outside school hours programs, knowing that what we could provide was a lot more than care and or babysitting. For us, the importance of the role that we play outside the curriculum environment is really around a child's well-being and the impact that we can have on social and emotional development. And post-COVID, there was no more important time to think about how listen to our customers, parents, and think about how do we provide this to children. We went through a process of understanding different providers and decided on Resonate because it's a beautiful, simple program that our teams use very easily. It's quite intuitive and provides us with exactly what we need in terms of family relationships, understanding our impact and listening, and also school relationships from a frequency of surveys.
Thanks, Sam, for sharing that. So if you want to add a little bit more about why you started with the Voice of Customers program and what you get out of the family relationship program.
For us, the switching Resonate on in the way that we have it set up, which is a weekly survey to, I think it's 1/13 of our parent population in Australia, so we currently have it set up in Australia, gives us that real-time understanding of what parents are thinking. Prior to that, we used to do a once a year, and if we were lucky, a once a year plus a pulse survey, which is really just a snapshot at the time of survey of what parents are thinking, how they're feeling about our programs and how we deliver our programs. But for us, it's probably a bit like switching a light bulb on. So it's like finally we can listen and see what's going on real time, and it just helps us make much better decisions.
Yeah, just how you said, it's like a light bulb. We usually call ourselves the fire alarm or the smoke detector.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It is good to always get feedback every week so we know how the families are feeling.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Anything else about Resonate that you like and you would like our viewers to know?
Yeah. Well, really importantly, no matter the size of the business, it's very easy to make decisions based on word of mouth, based on one piece of feedback from a parent.
Yeah.
And or also build strategic plans based on that. For us, we have definitely moved down a data decision kind of style of working. So effectively data driving our decision making, and helping us build out our strategic plans and our tactical initiatives and the things that make sense for parents and schools. The reason that Resonate provides to us the opportunity for us to be able to align the right data with the right people in our organisation to do the right thing at the right time. Educators receiving feedback in a written format is new as well. So it's taken us some time for our educators to feel comfortable to receive that feedback. And to know that actually, even if it's something that perhaps they don't want to read or hear, how good to be able to ring a parent straight away. And the parent's response is usually almost always positive because we've followed up on feedback. And it just helps us de-escalate issues that just really weren't significant but could have become bigger. Because as we kind of move into our operating model, up to our group executive, we're using it for our strategic initiative planning for moving into our next financial year. So, and we're starting to build out KPIs using that feedback. And so for us, it's been a very positive platform to bring into our business.
Thank you for sharing. I mean, like you said, it is a long process, but JAG is already way into the process and doing so well, especially when you say things like closing the loop with the parents, reaching out the service coordinators, thanking the parents and solving the issues at initial stages. So that's really good. You mentioned about the strategic team also using the data. Would you like to share a little bit more about who uses the CX data?
Yeah, sure. So I've talked a bit about the coordinators and our educators seeing and being informed and then closing the loop from a parent and family point of view. We have another role called our regional director role here at Junior Adventures Group, and they look at our school relationship surveys and work with our principals effectively in a kind of a partnership approach. So really, really positive for principals and other school decision makers to be able to give feedback, not just face-to-face. It's not always easy for our regional directors to make an appointment and see our principals or the principals of the schools that we're at, and anyone else that really wants to provide feedback from a strategy or a partnership point of view. From a strategic point of view, yes, so we have not only a real-time feedback of actual MPS, so that gives us whether or not family or friends would be recommended to for Junior Adventures Group, but drivers into those scores, including things like communication and transparency, our educators, how we're tracking with our educators, our programming, activities, food, etc. So the buckets become a bit bigger for us. So the verbatim information for us becomes really important as well. So and then we dive even further and beyond that. We have initiatives where our teams actually directly follow up in large cohorts with principals just to try and understand more deeply some of that feedback that we're.
With those valuable insights that you receive, what are some of those aha moments that help the team take decisions? Yeah,
so many aha moments, and there's little ones and big ones. The bigger ones would be around the fact that from our partnership capability with our teams, how are we coaching and training our regional directors to have really good conversations with principals? Because we're seeing some good information coming through that we're not hearing when we're having those face-to-face conversations. So for us, an aha moment is our L&D. So what does that look like? How are we coaching our teams to get better at the face-to-face as well as reading and acting on feedback? Another aha moment was that when we received detractor information, there's very little time that people that are detractors, whether they're parents, family members, principals, they're just not interested in giving verbatim feedback. So they will just tell us how they feel and move on, whereas we get a whole lot of verbatim from neutral scorers and promoters. So the aha moment for us is how do we follow up on that information, and then what are we finding out from detractors. So that was very interesting actually for us to be able to realise that detractors are detractors. They just, they'll tell us how they're feeling, but they just, they're a bit fed up. Really important for us to know and follow up and understand why and what can we do about it at a local level, but at a bigger level.
What are some of the positive impacts that you've seen?
The positive impacts really are catching issues early. So the real positive impacts is that really our complaints and incidents are starting to go down because we're catching issues earlier than we would have. So that's incredibly positive for us. Transparency, again, the real positive around transparency of communication and our ability to have really good open conversations with principals, because they've given the time to give even just a bit of feedback into Resonate that enables us to open up the conversation with a bit more realism, actually, for us to be able to say, hey, I can see that you're not 100% happy, or it looks like you're super happy, and understand why, which is great. And most importantly, the information that we're receiving helps go into our experience design for product and programming and the work that we do with our educators. So the most important positive impact for us is the impact we have on children. So it's it's going in to help develop our programming for the future.
Okay, that's good to hear. Thanks, Sam. So what next? Is there anything that you envision moving ahead on the customer experience journey for DRAG?
For us, we're really at the point of still embedding the program and driving the positivity through the organisation and the things that we can do, because of the information that we're receiving, what we're learning, what we're hearing, and making decisions for the short term based on the information, and making sure that all of our educators, understand how good it is to get feedback, both good and bad, or not so good, I should say. Further into the future, we're looking at trying to understand a bit more around child voice, giving children the opportunity to tell us directly how they're feeling and the impact that we can have. So that's an important one for us strategically. So it's been a pleasure working with Resonate. It's been a pretty easy journey, actually. Hishma, thank you. And always willing to try things with us, things like child impact survey, booking reduction survey, things like that. So, so I would suggest, from my point of view, apart from the incredibly positive impact, it is to switch that light on and actually listen and make some decisions based on the information. It's been great to work with Resonate to do that. So that's about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sam, for sharing your invaluable insights today. It's been a pleasure having you on Coffee with Resonate. To our audience, I hope this episode was enlightening for you. Before we sign off, please make sure to watch this space for our next exciting episode on Coffee with Resonate. And until then, keep brewing great experiences. Cheers.
Cheers.